Greetings, fellow warriors. You catch me doing some martial art while performing facial cleansing by the countryside. Today, I'm reviewing One Finger Death Punch 1 and 2 because they're very similar. We must perform very fast-paced actions to conquer the world map. Listen, these games don't have a lot of storytelling in them. So I took some creative liberties to express my journey as a stickman, becoming a Shaolin master and destroying anyone who dares oppose us. A game made by Silver Dollar Games, who doesn't even show a Steam page when I click on it on Steam. Starting in the first game, I don't have almost any options more than screen size and music on and off. Second thing, we get a world map. This was designed as a mobile game because we only move by pressing the available stage on the map. The tutorial teaches us how to use the controls, the only two of them, in fact. I don't know why it's called One Finger Death Punch, because it implies that I switch between mouse 1 and 2 using a single digit. The only thing between me and world domination is 2 buttons and root reflex. You can see that my character has a bar below him. That is the distance at which my attacks connect. This bar can be extended by grabbing a weapon. Enemies sometimes carry clubs, swords, and staff for melee, or projectiles like arrows, knives, and bombs. These ones can one-shot every kind of enemy. Speaking of, enemies have different categories, the first being the grey ones. Common fodder, they always die in one hit. We also have the brawler enemies. These ones will snap you into a one-on-one fight. Most of the time these are just a 5-click combo, and other times it's asking you to play a reading game while using a lightsaber. We also have colored enemies, which I will let the announcer describe.
Round. This stage has orange enemies. You don't have to memorize the patterns. Look at the red and blue bars below them. These colored bars will show you exactly what you need to press, starting from the top down.
He cannot even finish his introduction when starting the game.
Fight using only the left and right mouse buttons. When you fight, your cursor can be anywhere on the screen. Fight using only the left and right mouse buttons. When you fight, your...
Where were we? Oh yeah, people of color. In the beginning you will see enemies with a few bars below them. These represent the order of attacks you have to do. For example, green men are taken down by pressing the direction they are coming from 2 times. Blue ones make a switch of direction, and so on. You get the idea. Once on the map, progress is made from completing challenges that provide some variety to the game. Mob rounds are the most common of battles. It's just kill enemies. Multi-rounds are the same, but I have to do them 4 times. Smash rounds are a little different. Instead of beating enemies, the objective is to destroy a number of objects around the environment, like boxes and carts filled with food. There is no time limit, just destruction. Infinite rounds are absolute filler. There is no end, you could just enter and die. That's not even necessary because the path opens by passing through. Retro-filling rounds and Thunderstone rounds are essentially mob rounds with a filter. I assume this is how having a monochromia feels like. Time challenges have to be completed during the time frame marked at the bottom. The flick and throwing rounds are similar in the way that you click the correct button. And finally, we have boss rounds, which are encounters with 1 or 2 stickmen that change of color repeatedly until the health bar depletes. Also, some rounds gives us a different amount of health. If we ever get closer to the next life, there is a small chance to summon a golden sword that never breaks. Progressing through the map, you might notice different spaces that look like a square. This gives us abilities that affect a number of things. My favorites are probably more daggers, more arrows, and the freeze magic that eliminates everything on a given day. These tend to be off the beaten path, so you can also choose to skip them. Winning a stage acquires a rank, with different types of medals, like bronze, silver, gold, and Platinum. Medals are determined by misses, which are not the same as perfects. Those are given by beating a stage without taking any damage. There is also survival mode. It is an infinite stage to see how far can you go without that. And that about covers it for game 1. When I beat the game, a video pop up, but I alt tab and miss the whole cutscene.
Congratulations! You've completed student mode. Thank you so much for playing. As you can tell...
Now moving on, One Finger Death Punch 2. The game is mostly the same, but there are some key differences. For starters, the world map doesn't look like programmer art. Also, some types of stages have been reworked or completely removed, but I already spent too much time talking about rounds in Death Punch 1. What I wanted to start is some gameplay changes. For one, you might be very confused to see that you are already using abilities, but in the first game was an ability to unlock, now is, to a degree, part of your kit when it comes to some abilities. The skill point system has been overhauled. Now you collect gems to put into ability slots, which also makes them upgradable. There is a ton more of power, so you can go on the quest and slowly become a demigod. Also, bosses just appear in stages instead of having their own. But a part of the new stages, the most changing thing in the second game is the introduction of different types of projectiles. You might think that it doesn't affect the flow of the game, but you have to rethink a few things. Before, almost every projectile is stopped in its tracks, and throwable weapons are easy to read. Now projectiles can be stopped, deflected, which can kill an enemy from the same direction it was thrown, dodge, which can kill an enemy from the opposite direction, or catch and be thrown. There is also more music. I like F777, but the first one had a low variety. Now there is much more. Two has more game modes and stages. I am of the belief that 2 is also a faster game. These games from a decade ago have an updated cover, unlike some games that should. And that about covers it. I, however, have to put a major warning. Because when I was going to record more footage, I saw something that shook me to my core. My game progress was fully reset and I had to start over. I don't know how this happened, but it did, which led me to my first critique. In the beginning there are probably too many mob rounds that just kind of feel annoying. Both of these games are short, so regaining my progress didn't take too long. Since the second game has options, you can speed down if you don't want to experience car park tunnel. They are cheap games, the gameplay is pretty tight. For me it's an easy recommendation. And since stages are so quick, you can just play the first 2 worlds and refund it if you want. That's all for my part. Next video is going to still have shit audio. I'm making a compromise between getting a good microphone or a good computer. I've also made a Twitter account in case you want to explore some early access into the assets. So until next one.